So of course, first to Ka-Fai Lim. How are you, Ka-Fai? Please unmute your microphone.
Ajahn, I'm good today.
Please
I'm
unmute
good
your
today.
You have to unmute your microphone.
Yeah.
Okay. Can hear you now. All right. Okay. How are you? You got any question today? You have to turn on your microphone. Your microphone is off. Ka-Fai Lim. Okay.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
No question today.
No question today. Okay, we'll go to Philip Lim. Philip, how are you?
I'm good, Ajahn. I'm good, Ajahn. How are you?
Good.
Good. Your voice sounds a bit hoarse. Are you okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Take a little time for me to get started, I guess.
I see.
I haven't talked to anybody all day, so I haven't used my speech at all. So it take a while for me to get started.
I see.
You got any question?
For now there are no questions. No questions yet. Yeah.
How about you, Alvin? Alvin?
Hi, Ajahn.
Oh, okay.
I had a question, but it just slipped my mind. I have to be more mindful. When I think about it, I'll ask again later. He
Okay.
came and just say hi, and then it just slipped.
All right. Wait until the next turn. Okay.
Yeah. Ajahn, you have a question? Okay.
How are you?
I know how to ride bicycle.
How to ride bicycle? Huh?
Yeah.
First, you need to get bicycle first.
Yeah.
Get a bicycle first.
And
Your father will teach you how to ride.
for use, and then pump it,
Okay.
wipe it, spray with sanitizer,
Okay.
and scoot.
All right.
Okay.
Nice talking to you, your son.
Thank you, Ajahn.
Bye-bye. Go to sleep. Okay. Next now to Alvin Lee. Please unmute your microphone.
Hi Ajahn, how are you?
Good. Loud and clear.
Oh, loud and clear. That's good. No, Ajahn, I can't think of any question yet. If I have any, then I would ask. Yeah, I'll continue to try to practice. I think the instructions that I've been getting from you has been quite clear already. It's just putting into practice. I think I have to put more effort into practice. That's all.
That's where the problem is usually.
Yes, practicing. Yeah. Your message has been your teaching has been very clear already. I mean, in the last 5 months I've been asking you, so I think I've gathered enough. It's just putting more hours into practice now.
And it's mindfulness. That's the first thing you should do.
Yes.
Stop thinking and get mindfulness. Sustain attention. That's what mindfulness is.
Yeah.
Sustain attention on something, on one object only.
I think that's the biggest problem when you have your daily life, especially when you have to work and things like this. You tend to do multitasking, too many things at one time.
Yes. Okay. Go to the next couple. Sri and Czech. Hi, Sri and Czech. How are you?
Good evening, Ajahn. How are you?
Good.
It's
How
early
are
morning.
you?
Yeah, early morning. I'm very good. Thank you, Ajahn.
Good. Thank you.
You're working today?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
It's cold over here, Ajahn.
So you cannot give the precept today?
We try to, just like you suggest, we do as much as we can. Like maybe if not full 8 preset, we at least like 6 or 7. Like just try every day. Not like But officially we do it 2 days. Like really serious 2 days.
For the weekend when you're not
Right.
working.
Yeah.
Okay. You have any question?
I saw one of your posts, Ajahn. You say wisdom is developed when we face problems in our daily life, and you said with wisdom we solve the problems within, and without wisdom we solve the problems outside of us. Can you elaborate, Ajahn, about that statement you made?
Can you repeat again?
You said wisdom is developed when we face problems in our daily life. We have to use wisdom to solve the problem, and with wisdom we solve the problem within, and without wisdom we solve the problem outside of us.
Yes. Okay. See, normally when we see, we tend to look outside. We never look inside. So we see things, and then we think there's a problem there with people, with things. So we go and try to correct that problem with that people or thing. See? That's not the real problem. See? Real problem is you cannot keep still. You cannot leave things alone. So you become irritated or agitated or unhappy when you see things or people not going according to the way you want it to be. So you go change the thing, try to make it suit your desire. See? That you can never solve the problem that way, because things keep changing. You might fix one thing, and then the next day something else pop up again, and you have to fix it again. Keep fixing it. Like if you have a car, for instance, when it stops running, you have to fix it, right? And when you fix it, and after a while it runs for a while, and then you have to fix it again. So if you fix inside your mind, say, just don't have a car, just don't go anywhere, just stay put, then you don't need a car. Then your problem will be solved forever. You will never have to worry about fixing your car anymore. That's why the real wisdom is you're not happy, so you want to make things to make you happy. But instead of making you happy, it makes you worry more, because things are not stable. Things keep changing, things keep falling apart. You have to keep fixing all the time. So if you can just live without anything, then you don't have to fix anything. So just live with the basic requisite of life. That's all you have to do. Then you won't have much problems. See? Because with whatever you have to fix them sooner or later. Things or people, your house, your car, anything you have, they are all impermanent. They are all changing. They are deteriorating. They are falling apart. So you have to keep fixing them all the time. So if you live like a monk, then there's no home to fix, because you're homeless. You are homeless. No car to fix because you don't have a car. No job to fix because you don't have a job. No children to fix because you don't have children. All you have left is just your body. And then all you need is just the four requisites. You need eating once a day and have a set of clothing. And you can sleep anywhere under the tree. And you don't worry about getting sick, because you accept it as part of your life, of the body. It can heal itself when it gets sick. If it doesn't heal itself, well, it either die or remain sick. There's nothing you can do about it. So this is the lowest common denominator for living a free, problem-free life.
Mm.
You only have problem fixing your body, your own body, and that's all. But your mind will be permanently fixed. Your mind will have no worry, no anxiety, no sadness, no problems. See? That's how the Buddha fixes problems. See? And so he teaches us to do the same. Fix inside, don't fix outside. Get rid of the outside problem. Throw it away. Give it to Dana. Have money problem, give it to Dana. House problem, give to Dana. Give everything to charity. And go live as a homeless person. And then stop all your craving and your desire for anything outside or inside, even inside. Even inside your mind, you must not crave for peace of mind, because peace of mind is still considered impermanent. Peace of mind from samadhi, or peace of mind from not from being free from irritation or restlessness. It's temporary. Sooner or later, it will come back. It will disappear, and then your irritation or your restlessness will return. So you see, you have to even give that up, and then you will reach the final, the true peace, the true happiness. When you get rid of all your cravings for things outside and inside yourself. So the root cause of all problem is our cravings. Come back to the Four Noble Truths. Kama tanha, bhava tanha, vibhava tanha. This is what you have to get rid of. But first you have to get rid of your external things, so you can be free to come and fix your inner problem. You have to let go of your external problem first. When you're alone, then you don't have to worry about fixing things or people. Then you can fix your own problem. Come and stop your craving by developing mindfulness, samadhi, and wisdom. Then you can then get rid of all your problems forever. Once you finish, there's an utterance in the sutta, done is my work, no more work for me to do. The work of a recluse has come to an end. But if you work in the world, there's no end to the work outside. There's always something to you have to do forever until you can no longer do it. Then you just have to give up. When you become old and decrepit and don't have the strength to do anything, then you eventually have to accept your fate. But otherwise, you'll keep pushing, keep solving the problem. All right, does this answer your question?
Yes, that's beautiful, Ajahn. Really beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. How about you, Sri? You have any question?
My question is, Ajahn, like we have 5 hindrances, right? When is it we achieve jhana, then we cut down 5 hindrances, or we cut down 5 hindrances, then we achieve jhana?
It's like darkness and light. If you get light, then there's no darkness. If you have jhana, no hindrances. If you have hindrances, there's no jhana. So whichever way you look at it, if you don't have if you don't have jhana, you have hindrances. They are the opposites. They are on the opposite side.
Oh.
The hindrance and the jhana. It's like darkness and light. See, when you turn on your light, darkness disappear, right? If you turn off your light, then the darkness returns. Same way. If you get rid of your hindrances, you get jhana. If you get jhana, then you get rid of your hindrances, whichever way you look at.
Yeah.
And now you don't have jhana, so it means you have hindrances. That's why you have to keep the 8 precepts to cut one of the hindrance, your
Yeah.
sensual desires.
Yeah.
It is one of the key things that keeping your mind outside, cannot go inside, because the sensual craving keep pushing your mind toward the sensual objects. You want to see, you want to hear, you want to eat, you want to drink, to enjoy. Right now, people are complaining about staying at home. They want freedom to go and drink and have a party and so forth. This is what driving people mad. Not the virus. It's the lockup that drive them mad. So they say they don't care if they catch virus, because at least now they are suffering. They have to stay home. See, so they want to get rid of this suffering first and worry about the virus later on. And by that time, it will be too late. If they're the unfortunate one who has to go into the hospital, but there are lots of people who are immune or have strong resistance to this virus, so they don't have much symptom. But for those older people, those who have pre-existing conditions, they're the one who will really suffer.
Oh.
But the young men, they don't care. The young people, they want to go out, they want to have fun. So this is the dilemma right now facing the West, what to do. In Thailand, we are a Buddhist country, so we know it's better to stay home. We know it's our defilement. They keep pushing us out. So in a way, we're thankful for the virus that forced us to stay home and meditate.
Yeah.
So we don't have much cases in Thailand. Thai are Buddhist, and we're not sort of indulge in a lot of sensual pleasures like drinking and partying and things like that, except for a few people. But generally, the major population, they tend to be Buddhistic. They stay away from the vices like drinking and entertainment.
Right.
So they're not hurt. They're not affected much by the lockup, the lockdown, except for the economy. That's something else though. But nobody complain here when they have to face a lockdown. And everybody wear masks already before. We had this dust problem in Thailand. So people have to wear masks when they go outside already. So people used to wearing masks.
Right.
So it's no problem. It's become quite part of life here. Whether you have virus or not, you still have to put on mask.
Oh, okay.
Because you have a lot of dust. I guess automobile emission and construction work and so forth. But now there's no work, then there's no dust, but there's the virus instead. So we still have to put on mask again. But we used to, because we Thai tradition doesn't encourage indulgence. We are taught to be moderation, to have moderation. So we're not much affected by the lockdown.
Yeah. I always tell mom, I love Thai people. Most beautiful people.
Yeah. All right. Sorry for straying away from Dhamma for a bit. But it's also Dhamma if you look at it. If you have Dhamma, you have peace of mind, then you don't need to go out. See? Then you don't go spread or receive the virus from other people. So that's why we don't have much cases in Thailand. Most of the cases that we get the last 2 or 3 months are all imported. People returning to Thailand, returning home or whatever, and they carry with them the viruses. So everybody who enters Thailand has to have 14-day quarantine first before they're allowed to go anywhere. And they have to be tested twice, I think.
People have to learn to greet like Thai people, because there's no like just you don't hug or you don't shake hands. Just do the
Yeah, we don't
yeah.
shake it.
yeah.
We don't touch. Yeah. Touching
Yeah.
is considered to be a taboo almost. You don't touch people. You don't hug or you don't hold,
Yeah.
anything like that. You just show your anjali,
Yeah.
your palms together.
Yeah, people
Oh.
over here, they are learning the new greeting like Thai people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll spread like Anjali. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sadhu.
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay,
Yeah.
did I answer the question? Okay, you answered.
Yeah, I
Okay.
remember when I see the light. I'll remember.
All right. I'll go to iPhone now. Hi, iPhone. Please unmute your microphone. iPhone.
Oh, Namaskaran, Ajahn.
Where are you from?
I'm
Singapore?
from Singapore, Kap.
Okay.
Yeah, this is the first time I talk to you. I've heard a lot of you from, I think, many people in Singapore, including, I used to go to Thailand very often, like 20 years ago, 25 years ago. So, yeah. So in fact, one of your classmates told me about you, Tan Chao Kun Suchart, one of your classmates, my driver also,
Oh, really?
Yeah, Mr. Pan.
Mr. Pan.
Yeah, he was your, I think he know you when you were together. He said, he told me about you in when I was in Thailand. And then I also met,
Okay.
Yeah, I also met one of your Luksit, Junwei.
I see.
Yeah, so I heard a lot about you. So this is the first time very โชคดีนะก็เจออาจารย์
Oh, good.
นับถือครับ
Good.
So, yeah, very lucky that I want to tell Ajahn that we are very fortunate that we have Kuba Ajahn that can speak English. Despite I can speak Thai, but the Dhamma Tesana sometimes not 100% I can, because quite in depth. So I'm very glad that Ajahn is can speak English and so wonderful. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I hope that because I think Tan Ajahn is a disciple of Ajahn Mahabua. So I met Luang Pu in Udon before, and also in Pathom, Thani in Luang Pu Chiak, Ajahn Chiak. Ajahn Chiak, he's a disciple. He's a teacher of our Singapore, quite popular among Ajahn King.
Yes, Ajahn King.
So yeah, so I will hope that there are more like translation into English, because forest tradition, Sai Wat Pa, is not so long in Singapore or in this our region. Is because for me, formerly I was like a bit superstitious, because we grew up in Singapore. We like the pra, all those Luang Pu Tuat, because our generation is mostly Sai Tai, Pak Tai. We are near to Thai, so we hardly hear about Dhamma, very hardly. So fortunately, Ajahn, you write in English, and then and also Ajahn Thanisaro. The first encounter was with Ajahn Thanisaro and Ajahn Suwat, So I learned it's very important, because for us, it's not easy to get this affiliation with the Sai Wat Pa. Not easy, because far away. Yeah. So I hope that there's more translation of like Ajahn Mahabua teaching, or some of the Po Me Ajahn.
Yes.
Yeah, more translation.
There are many Westerners on Ajahn Chah's tradition also. You can follow.
Yes.
To Ajahn Chayasaro. And so
Yeah,
many.
yeah. I met all of them, in fact, because Singapore is quite blessed that most of the, except Ajahn Tanjakun haven't come yet.
I've been there to Skype. I've been there to Wat Yannasangwararam already.
Oh, you've been
By Skype.
Oh, Skype, yeah, not person, but you did try, right?
About 2 or 3 years ago, I was invited to.
Oh, sadhu. Oh, because I think Ajahn King and many Luksit would like to invite you to give because the talk in the actual person sometimes more inspired. So I think many of the Singapore Luksit did want to invite, but I think as I think the presence is important, but of course the Dhamma is you teach you must get in the heart Putto you teach. But I also one thing because I'm quite excited, so first time I met Ajahn, because I know about Dhamma for a very long time. I study in some of the college in Sri Lanka, in Singapore, Mangala Vihara. I study some diploma and on the Pali, and but I would like to ask. I mean, one thing that I realized about Buddhism, because I interested in many religion. So, but I not only Buddhist because I have the sattha, 100%. Well, the question I want to ask is that many Buddhists is, I mean, what I see over the years is many on the theory, and then put in ภาษาไทย we say like put ง่ายแต่ว่าทำยากใช่ไหม
That's why there's a lot of theorists and not many practitioners.
ครับผม
There's a lot of academic people, but not practice people.
ยากหายาก
Study is easy, but practice is harder.
ครับ That's why I 30 years in this thing. I know a lot of theory. I mean, I read a lot of anthropology on Wat Pa, but ultimately the chai. I mean, I don't really expert in so-called the so-called practice. Although I know long time, but ไม่ใช่ปฏิบัติเก่งนะเป็นคนธรรมดา So I just want to ask that. Many a times we can talk a lot of stuff, and when we are in the temple, we are very holy. We sit very still. But once we come out of the temple or we left the Ajahn, our bad behavior start coming. So how do we have this constant strength, the power to always the heart always have this constantly, even if you face big disaster in life that makes you sometimes wither in Dhamma, sometimes. So how do we have this so much strength to hold on?
You need mindfulness. You have to develop mindfulness. You have to recite Putto, keep reciting Putto. Then your mind will then be under your control. If you don't use Putto, then your mind starts thinking and then start reacting to things. So you cannot control it like you in a place where you feel that you have to control yourself, but you can only do it for so long anyway. So if you want to have longer control, then you have to keep reciting Bhutto all the time, all day long if it's possible. If you don't have to do any thinking, then recite Bhutto. Don't think aimlessly. Then you have strong mindfulness. Then you can control your mind to become still and not reacting to things.
Yeah, I did try before. I mean, I put toe very fast, Ajahn Keng did, I put very fast when I face difficulty or scared in the cemetery. We used
That's
to,
right.
we samadhi in the cemetery, you know, in
Right.
China. I follow some of the Ajahn first time
Good.
in China.
You should do more. You should do more.
Yeah, but in the cemetery, we are more like when we are scared, we scared of the ghosts. We put toe very fast, you know, put toe, like this, you know. So this is my experience. So I realized that when we are scared, we tend to use put toe more because it's like our refuge. You see. We scared some things, you know, in the cemetery, very old cemetery. We put you know. So this is very useful. I think, like what Ajahn has recommended to make our mind
fixed.
Yes.
Sustained attention.
Samadhi.
Yeah.
So but sometimes, like what I asked is, our samadhi, we at that moment we have we have, but when we face another problem, the knowing becomes like we get melted into that problem, you know, like our like something we lost or we did like something problem or what, then
you forgot putto. You forgot putto.
Yeah, we forget really.
Yeah. So you have to bring
Only
back.
when the
you have to recite putto to extract yourself from the problem.
So putto can apply to because everything
every crisis, every problem, but it's only temporarily measured. If you want to solve the problem permanently, you need to have wisdom.
Chai.
You have to see anicca, dukkha, anatta in the object of your problem. Then you can then let go of it.
That's the difficult part. Vipassana is knowing is take a lot of time and practice. That's why I still, after 20 years, 30 years, can read a lot, you know, a lot of literature on, a lot of Dhamma, a lot of many things. But the most important, I think, the patibat, like what Ajahn say, is need to be like a knife sharpened.
Practice. Okay, you take a lot of time now.
Oh, sorry, Ajahn. A bit.
Talking to you. If you want to say anything, maybe in the next round, okay? When we come back. Who's next? Joseph. Hi, Joe, from Singapore.
Hi, Ajahn.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Ajahn, I have one question. Is it okay to ask one question about rebirth?
About what?
Rebirth.
Rebirth, yes.
Okay, as in the Muslim, Islam, and Christian religion, right? They believe in a permanent soul that goes to heaven or hell, right? Whereas in Buddhism, correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm still learning. In Buddhism, we believe that there is no permanent soul, right? And the soul or the self is an illusion, because the self actually is derived or comprised from the 5 aggregates of the mind. So when we die, that means the 5 aggregates die with our death, meaning to say the soul or the self is just an illusion. So the self dissolutes. It becomes
no. I think you misunderstand what you read. See, our life is composed of 2 components, the mind and the body. The body dies, the mind doesn't die. The components of the mind doesn't die with the body. So you say the 5 khandha, only the 1 khandha dies, is the rupa khandha, the body. But the mental khandha remain with the mind. And this mind is what we call the knowing element. And this is what is being interpreted by other religion as the soul. or the spirit, and so forth. But it's just a knowing element and has this four function. It has feeling, vedana, sanya, perception, sankhara, thoughts, and vijnana, sensual object consciousness to sensual objects. This doesn't die with the body. See? This go with the mind, the knowing element. And this is what the one that go take rebirth, get a new body again.
So this mind, Ajahn, this mind, does it come with the memory? Does the memory?
That's why I say memory or perception. Sanya khanda.
Okay. So is that why, according to some near-death experience researchers, they say that in the hospital when people have a near-death experience, they can see themselves, their body on the operating table, or when their heart stops beating, actually they rise to the ceiling and can see themselves on the table. Is that why?
Yes, it's because the mind is separate from the body. It's not the same.
So that means when we separate from the body, our consciousness actually is there with the mind, and
Yes.
and we know it, right?
Yes.
We know it. Okay. So it doesn't mean the dissolution or the annihilation of ourself or our no.
Our mind cannot be destroyed. It's only the body that is being dissolved back into the original four elements. The body formed by the earth, water, fire, and wind element. And when the body stops breathing, then this four elements will separate, go their separate ways. And the fifth element, which is the knowing element, also go its way. The fifth element has this defilement, this craving for sensual pleasure. So it will then go look for a new body so that it can then continue on with its pleasure of seeing, hearing, and eating and drinking and so forth.
So is the mind, does the mind go with this fifth element?
The mind is the fifth element. See?
Oh, the mind is the fifth element. Okay.
Yeah, we call the knowing element. Sometimes we call this spiritual being, because it has no form like the body. So we call it the spiritual being when it's detached from the body.
So Ajahn, when the mind, when we do not achieve the stream entering level, at least at the Sotapan level, that means the mind will be reborn in the lower realms or another human realm, but not in the stream entry level, right? But when our mind has achieved good karmic energy enough to enter the stream entry level, that means our mind becomes or achieves the supramundane mind.
Yes, the supramundane will then stop the mind from taking birth on the lower realm, the undesirable realm of existence. But it still has to take birth as a human,
right?
With a maximum of 7 births to the most,
right?
Because it hasn't yet got rid of its sensual cravings entirely. But as it progresses, as it moves up the ladder of the path, and it will then cut down the rebirth back to 1, and then eventually no rebirth at all.
Thank you for clarifying this, because I have been very, because of my misunderstanding, I have been very, not to say very, but I have been quite disturbed or quite due to my misunderstanding, I have been quite negative, about the practice. So because I thought it was annihilistic, that when we die, our mind dies with our body.
No, it
So
doesn't.
it's a misunderstanding.
It's the one that takes rebirth. It go takes a new body.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Okay, you're from Singapore, right? Or
No, I'm
Malaysia?
from Malaysia.
Malaysia.
Yeah. You have
Okay.
cleared a lot of my misconception, which actually was actually hindering me from moving forward.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Ajahn.
Right.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
Okay. We'll go to Marlin. Marlin, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You want to say anything?
Satu ka. Just listening in and say
Okay.
hello. Thank
All right.
you much.
Nice to see you. Hope you're well.
Very well, thank you.
Okay. Keep practicing.
I am.
All right. Don't be lazy.
Oh no.
Don't be distracted by other things.
I am distracted by the U.S. news. It's very bad, but it's almost over. Just another week.
All right.
And now the Thai stuff is starting, but I really ignore that one, or else I will get in trouble.
Okay.
So, but I'm trying. Thank you so much.
Close your eyes, close your ears to everything. If you want to go inside, that's where enlightenment is, inside, not outside.
Yes.
Okay.
I sit a lot, but it's getting better, but I'm not waiting for it to happen. I'm just doing it and let it happen by itself, like what you told me. So, yeah, keep going.
All right, good.
Thank you, Satu.
Okay. I'll go to the next. Hi, Sammy from Lebanon. Haven't seen you for a while. How are you?
Hello, Bante. Hello. Nice to see you. Yes, I'm fine. I've been struggling with some family problems keeping me a little bit away from my Dhamma practice. But I keep on trying to come back, meditate, and do some reading also to keep inspiring my mind.
Okay.
Yeah, otherwise, just
you have any
eventless.
questions today?
No questions so far.
You have to get back to the practice. Look at
Yes,
everything as Ajahn. Contemplate on death for a while. Then you'll say nothing is important once you see everybody gonna die eventually.
The thing is, my problem, every time I think about serious practice, in my mind, it's like I have to go back to the monastery. I have to go back to the robes. I have to go back to
You should let your mind,
or wherever.
you should say you can do it now here. See, your mind is trying to kick the ball down the road.
Yeah.
So just say you
That's
can
my
do it
challenge
here.
right now.
You can do it now. You don't have to do serious meditation. Once you go there, you won't be able to do serious meditation either if you cannot do simple meditation now.
That is true.
So try to do the simple meditation now, and then you will then develop, and then you will eventually feel that you need to do the serious meditation. Then you will then be ready to go, and nothing can stop you once you know that. But right now you cannot go either. You're just thinking about going, but you will never go because you know that you cannot do serious meditation when you go anywhere. So it's just an excuse for you not to do meditation now. See? This is your defilement,
Yes.
playing on you, fooling you, deceiving you. You think that in order to do serious meditation, you have to go to a monastery. No, you have to start from where you are and then it will then propel you to go there eventually. Not your thought should be the one that propel you, but your status, your mental status should be the one that propel you to go. If your thought propel you once you get there, you're not ready for it anyway, because you don't have the status to practice seriously. Because you can't even practice simply, or just briefly. How can you go and do, intensive course? So do it now, whenever you have time. Shut everything off and sit for maybe 15 minutes, 20 minutes. Starting from there, Okay.
I usually can sit for 45 minutes to 1 hour.
Do it every
easily.
day. Do it every day. Make it a routine. This is how you're gonna improve your status, your mental status. Improve your mindfulness, improve your samadhi. And the more you get, the more the need for you to practice more will come.
Yes.
Okay. No
Yes.
question today.
No question.
Then maybe later if you want to. Let me go to some other people first, okay?
Thank you, Bhante.
All right. Soling, you got any question?
No, I'm listening, Ajahn.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Okay. You're from London, okay.
Yes, yes. I nearly missed your Zoom today because we turned our clock back on Sunday.
I see.
Yeah, so I was waiting for 2 o'clock to happen. And then suddenly I look and then, so I just managed to get on. Thank you.
Okay, good. I see your daughter Phoebe is on here also somewhere.
Yes, she is on. Yes, yes.
Okay, let me go to the next person. Hi, Gek Yenso from Penang.
Good evening to you.
Good evening to you.
Right.ท่านอาจารย์, I have one question. Is last timeท่านอาจารย์ did mention that there's one female 8 preceptor or nuns that achieved Arahant. May I know her name and how to spell her name, Ajahn, so that I can do some reading about her in the Google.
The Thai woman, the Thai nun, Mechi Gao. Mechi Gao.
How to spell?
I think Keow.
Keow. Okay.
But it's pronounced Gao, Kell. But it's written Keow. It's pronounced Gao, Mechi Gao. I think if you go to the website of Long Ta, there's a translated book on her biography in English. Or you can search the internet, search for the biography of Mechi Gao.
Okay, yeah.
Is that all?
Yeah, thank you, Ajahn. Yeah.
Okay. Well, let me go to Fong Xin Yi. Hi, Fong. You have to unmute your microphone.
Good evening, Tan Ajahn. I'm Monica.
Monica, okay.
Yes.
Fong
How are
Xin
you?
is your daughter?
Yes, she's having another Zoom meeting.
I see. Okay.
On business.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any question today?
Yes, actually, because I spend some time on work, so during my other activities, I do try to stay mindful of my activities. Sometimes I find my mind very light, but sometimes I realize that the mind is a bit heavy, and sometimes I notice thoughts coming in. Is it the correct way, or should I just have to keep on Buddha or observe the breathing?
Better to observe what you do and ignore everything.
Okay.
Because you want to be single-minded. You don't want to scatter your thoughts here and there. So stay with what you do, what you recite the Buddha mantra, Buddha. And everything else, just ignore them unless you have to deal with them. But if you don't have to deal with them, then it's better just to ignore them for now. You want to concentrate your mind. The goal is to concentrate your mind.
So even if I'm doing things, but sometimes I do realize that certain thoughts or emotions come in. Does it mean that the mind is distracted?
Yes, that's right. Sometimes your mind can flip back and forth very, very fast. It can go to thoughts and then it can come back to what you do. So just stick with what you do, stay with what you do, and disregard the thoughts, the feelings.
Okay. So that means I should sit more in meditation to build up my mindfulness. Is that so?
Well, yes. When you sit still, you can bring your mind to become still. But if you work, you cannot make it still because you have to use your mind in working.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But you want to develop sustained attention before you can meditate. See? So when you work, you try to be attentive to what you do and not go think about other things. This is mindfulness. And then when you have spare time, you don't have to work, then you can sit and meditate. And your mind can then become calm easily because you have this attention, sustained attention.
So that means during working hours, I just keep to sustained attention will be enough, right?
That's right. That's right. Don't think, just, or if you think of what you do, what you have to do. Think of your work, but not other things. Don't think about your daughter. Don't think about anything else. Just stay with the work. And if you don't have to think, then just watch. Just observe what you do. You want to stop your thinking as much as possible.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
All right. Thank you, Ajahn.
Okay. Let me go to Sally Shi. Sally from Malaysia.
Pande, good evening, Pande.
How are you?
I'm fine. Okay, so Pande, in our daily life, we have a lot of thoughts. Sometimes it's good, and sometimes it's no good. They say it's the unwholesome talk. So is it the moment we have the unwholesome thought, so he will bring the bad karma to us?
Well, if you have bad talks, it can give you bad results. So you want to talk nice, talks good, because then you get good result from your talk. Talking is one karma called verbal karma. See? And it has good verbal karma and bad verbal karma. So you want to refrain from bad verbal karma because it can cause you to have suffering or sadness or pain. Say good things, and then you would have no bad feelings arising. Okay.
So, yeah, Pande. So how to control our thoughts, or how to become more mindfulness in our daily life?
You have to use mantra, Bhutto, Bhutto, or chanting to force your mind to be under your control. Then when you chant, your mind cannot go think about other things.
Okay.
So try to do chanting or reciting Bhutto, Bhutto as much as possible. Then you take control of your mind. Once you can take control of your thought, then you can take control of your speech and your action.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Pande.
All right.
Thank
Nice
you.
talking to you. Okay, next is, I think, Phoebe. She's still connecting to audio. Cannot hear you though. Okay, unmute your microphone. All right.
Hi, Venerable Ajahn.
You have to speak louder.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, louder. Closer to your mouth.
Okay. Is that better?
Yeah, okay.
Okay. I don't really have a question. I'm just still struggling to not follow my emotions and not react to things. And I think my emotions make me make the wrong decisions. For example, just before this meeting, I've mentioned that I have a very disruptive person living in my house at the moment. They are leaving in a few days, and I try to ignore what they're doing and see it as my karma, and to just, if I see anything that I dislike or hear anything, I try to not think about it. But this person has caused a lot of damage to my property, and I've tried in the past to reason with him, and it just gets worse. And this morning, because I saw him doing something that was potentially damaging, I intervened, and in reply, he just made sure he did something else to get revenge on me. And so I thought, oh, that was not skillful of me. I shouldn't have intervened. I should have just accepted that he's doing what he's doing. Is that right? That I should just accept if something happens like that as my bad karma. And in any case, it is anicca, it is ending very soon. But I find it very hard to remain calm when I have those feelings of like anger or aversion, or I think my ego feeling that, not liking things.
You need to develop a lot of mindfulness, because with mindfulness, you can stop your emotion. So try to recite Bhutto, practice Bhutto, Bhutto. And when you have emotion like anger or agitation, you just keep reciting Bhutto for a few minutes, and then it will disappear. Don't solve the problem with the people that you have problem with. Solve your agitation by mindfulness. You have to be calm first, then you can deal with every situation rationally. But when you're angry or you're emotional, you want to win, you want to beat up that person, which then causing his reaction to beat you up. You both end up dead. So, if you can calm your mind and then you look at things rationally and then say, is there anything I can do? If cannot, but just let it be. Okay? All right. Did you just get up? Did you stay up late?
No, I was on the Zoom since quite near the beginning, but I just had my video off because I was still angry.
I mean, did you work late?
Yes, I did, but it's fine.
Okay. You can go back to sleep now.
No, I won't.
All right. Is that all you want to ask?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. We'll go to the next person then. Kenneth. Hi, Kenneth from Switzerland. How are you?
Hello, Ajahn. I'm fine, thank you.
Okay. You have any question?
Yeah, I have a question. I would like to ask you if you could briefly describe again the four great fortunes, because what I try to do in the morning when I wake up, I recall these four fortunes briefly. I find it quite useful to bring up gratitude and the motivation to start the practice straight away. So if you could just comment on that, and if that's the right way to use the recalling of the fortunes to bring up some energy for the practice. Is that a good thing?
Let me see if I know it correctly. The fortune of being a human being, take a human birth, because without the human birth, you cannot appreciate the teaching of the Buddha. Okay? So you need to be a human. So if you're born an animal, then you just have no chance of studying the teaching of the Buddha and taking advantage of his teaching. So you should be thankful for this human birth. And it doesn't happen all the time either. Once you die, you might have to go be reborn in various realms of existences first, due to your good or bad karma. And when you return as a human being the next time, there might not be the teaching of the Buddha around. So this is the first fortune, to be born as a human being. The second fortune is the enlightenment of a Buddha. Once there's the Buddha, then there's a way to the extinction of suffering. See, without the Buddha, then we would always be subjected to suffering forever. So that's the second fortune, is to have the enlightenment of the Buddha, or something like that. Anyway, I think it's better if you read it from the text if you can. But I just remember it, just not in great detail. But it's a great fortune to have a Buddha in this world. Okay, and then the next fortune is the ability to stay alive, I think. Because once you're born, if you don't stay alive, then your human birth is useless. So you should be thankful for being alive. The good fortune to be alive. Because without a live body, you cannot study, you cannot practice the Buddha, the Buddha's teaching. And I think the fourth fortune is the fortune of having the time to study and practice the teaching of the Buddha.
Yeah.
So if you have this fortune, then you can expect enlightenment in this lifetime. So whatever you lack, you have to. I think most people lack the time to study and practice. They have the body, they're still alive, they have the Buddha's enlightenment, but they don't have the time to study and to seriously study and practice. So I think you lack the fourth fortune.
Yes.
Okay, is this clear enough?
Yeah, thank you, Ajahn. That's very good. Thank you.
I might be wrong. I'm not sure. I read the text. This is what I understood. So this is my interpretation of it anyway.
Yeah, I read it as well. That's pretty much the same as I imagined it was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you free from teaching today, or you still have to teach?
I still have one more teaching, but we moved everything to online because the students have been banned from coming to the university again because of the situation. So we had to switch everything to online. So I'll be doing like a Zoom meeting like this in about an hour from now.
See, that's better, right? So you don't have to go to school, to the university.
Well, the staff can still come. I still come into my office to prepare everything, and I have the facilities, but there's no students around. It was very quiet.
Oh, you do it at the university?
Yeah, I come into my office here to do the online.
Okay, good. Any more questions?
No, that was my only question for today, Ajahn. Thank you.
Okay. Let me go to Dean. Hi, Dean, from Singapore.
Hi, Ajahn. Nice to see you again. How are you today?
Good.
May I ask some questions?
Please go ahead.
Ajahn, your instructions last week, mere knowing, mere seeing, and mere hearing. I work hard on it daily. And with other Dhamma studies I encounter, it points to internal investigation of feelings, mental formation. So I return back to your instructions. I keep recalling your words. Mere seeing, mere hearing, mere knowing, no analysis. All I focus on is your words, and I know that you've practiced for decades. So it was like when you say those words, it was like lightning. And through the whole week, I was hearing the thunder in my practice. And it revealed a lot more things. But in this Zoom, there's too many people. I must keep this short. So Ajahn, again, you, with the very few words you share with me, it contains a lot of your compassion and your, so it helps a lot. If I do go forth or remain as a layperson, Ajahn, can I ask for your permission to come and see you sometime, perhaps after 5 years in the monastery?
You know, I'm still around. I don't know if I'll be around then.
Yes, I know that you might be or might not be. If you are
Sure.
around, I would love to have the opportunity to meet you in person. If you're not around, your teaching is already inside my chitta.
This is actually the best time to meet me on Zoom, because if you come see me physically, I might be busy with some other people most of the time. So I probably might not be able to speak to you like right now.
No,
So this is the best time to see me, really.
different qualities. I enjoyed the other videos you post of you speaking in Thai, your morning walk. Those videos, you might not say a word, but it's very inspiring too. And it has its place, it has its repercussions. So if I can be physically in the same space watching you spending minutes and hours, I think that has quality and that has great value. You don't need to speak to me in the temple. I just want to have your permission to visit you.
Okay, just when the time comes, just come. If
Thank
I'm
you,
here,
Ajahn.
you're welcome. Okay. But
Thank
I
you,
cannot
Vine.
promise you I'll be here now.
I
Because
would find you.
the future is not certain.
Yes, it is not certain, but it is also somehow miraculous that I encounter you, like all the bhikkhus encounter Buddha. There is a movement in Dhamma that the mind cannot explain. So I learned to respect that. And when I give homage to you, is that I recognize the Buddha's teaching in the way you live your life. Whether you are in your body or not, I understand. So I'm progressing with your instruction last week, and I will continue to develop the sati. I'm very far away from being able to be mindful every in-breath and every out-breath. So I will continue, Ajahn, and I don't know when I'll see you again, but so the Dhamma helps us, and all of us here are benefiting from your time and your energy. And these words, may these words echo into your stillness and your moments of personal practice as you walk alone. Every moment of your life, it affects all of us. So Ajahn, please stay a bit longer in this body to help us.
I wish I can control it. This is anatta also. The body is anatta.
Bhikkhu Ananda was given opportunities to request Buddha to live longer. So
you did. So you did. So you'll make sure that you have done your part, huh?
I will ask 2 more times, Ajahn. I'm quite determined to. I will find you and I'll ask 2 more times. So I know you want to leave the body soon, but for the sake of the rest of us, that somehow we have affinity to the way you speak, we relate, we connect with you. You're quite unique as an Ajahn in this time. The way you communicate is very unique. And I'll let Dhamma do the rest of the work. Thank you, Ajahn.
Is that all? No more questions for now?
I need to practice more. Ajahn. Thank you. Thank you.
All right. So let me go to the next person. I think that's about all the people. Nobody has turned on the video. So I guess Philip Lim, you have any question?
Not at the moment. I mean, after this only after last week, you gave the instruction on actually not to shift the attention away. Just keep on practicing. I know the instruction is very subtle, but the impact of the practice is very, very profound. I mean, there is a major difference in the quality of the stillness, and also the depth of the calmness that you get. It's just a very, very minor shift of not, you say, you told Alvin that you don't take the attention away if you hear a sound or you hear a thought. But I'd like to thank you on that point. It's been very helpful for me this week.
Okay. I think everybody has a chance to ask their first question. So I think now is the time for anybody to ask any question. All you have to do is raise your hand and then unmute your microphone and go ahead and talk. Anybody have any questions? You're welcome to ask by raising your hand and then unmute your microphone.
มีคำถาม from Facebook.
Okay, go ahead, La.
There are 7 people in the Facebook have questioned Ajahn, and the first person is from Mr. Vilan. Do Arahant always dwell in jhana? They don't need to do meditation again?
If you mean jhana is by sitting in meditation, they don't have to do it if they don't want to. They can do it if they have a choice. They don't have to enter to jhana, because the mind is the same as being in jhana. The mind has been purified, so their mind is always calm and peaceful. So they don't need to go and sit in jhana, but occasionally they might want to rest completely, then they go into jhana. Otherwise, they don't have to.
And next question from Miss Kip Kim. Dear Ajahn, if a sick person does not want to seek treatment, as he assumes he is accepting the consequence from his bad karma, is his right will according to the Dhamma?
Yes, by not accepting treatment doesn't mean killing yourself, so it's not bad karma. Some people just see that it's useless to have treatment, so they just let the body exist naturally. If it's time for the body to stop functioning, then let it be. This is okay.
And the next question from Miss Ai. She has 2 questions. And question number 1, does the enlightened person always attain jhana?
See, before you can become enlightened, you need to have the 4th jhana as the support. Your mind need equanimity that you get from the 4th jhana in order to resist your defilement, your cravings. So everybody who become enlightened has to have this 4th jhana first.
And the question number 2, when we wake up in the middle of the night and can't sleep anymore, is it okay if we meditate until we feel it is time to go back to sleep? Or if we're still able to continue to meditation and we don't sleep until it is time to get ready to prepare for our work, it is okay, Ajahn?
Yes, it's okay to meditate as much as possible. If you can't go to sleep, then don't waste your time trying to force yourself to go to sleep. Make use of that time by meditating until you feel tired and you want to go back to sleep again. Then you go back to sleep.
And next question from Po Liang Soon. How we know Magic Gal reaching as Arahant? Maybe by looking at her relic, then we know she has become Arahant.
There's an Arahant bones, some part of the bones turn into stones, which we call relics. Yeah. They look like precious stone.
And next question from Miss Adeline. Hi Ajahn. I remember my question. I have been meditating more at the same times. During my rest at night, I noticed my sleep is not as calm, but instead, I have more dreams now compared to before. Are these due to my defilements or my past karma?
Dreams are usually the result of your mental activities. So if you do a lot of mental activities, when you go to sleep, you tend to have more dreams. If you have less mental activity while you're awake, when you go to sleep, you will have less dreams. But if you have good dreams, it's a result of your good activity, good karma. If you have bad dreams, it's the result of your bad karma. Is that all the question?
And the last question from Mr. Lu Fu Ying. Dear Ajahn, can you please explain the difference between momentary concentration, access concentration, and absorption concentration? Appreciate very much for Ajahn teaching and I benefit a lot. Thank you.
See, there are three types of concentration for samadhi. Momentarily is a kanika samadhi, in which your mind becomes fully concentrated briefly, momentarily, like very quickly. You go in and then you come out. It's like a flash of lightning, briefly. It's called kanika samadhi. The second one is the full concentration and remain there for a long time. This is called appana samadhi. And the third one is called upajara samadhi, and translated as excess concentration. Actually, it has entered into full concentration and then it doesn't remain inside. It then starts to go out to perceive things in the spiritual world, like contacting spiritual beings like devas. This type of samadhi is used by the Buddha when he wants to teach to the devas. This excess concentration or upajara samadhi. But you have to go through the appana samadhi before you can get to the excess samadhi concentration.
And there's one more question just coming, Ajahn. From Mr. Chi Ching Chuan. How do I guide my mind so that I can be calm all the time, dear Ajahn?
You just have to have mindfulness. Keep reciting Bhutto, Bhutto, Bhutto. Then your mind will become calm all the time. Or when your mind doesn't become calm, you use Bhutto. When it becomes calm, you can stop Bhutto. Bhutto is like a brake of the automobile. If the automobile is running, then you have to put on the brake to stop it. Once it stops, then you can release the brake. But when it starts to move again, then you have to apply the brake again. So Bhutto or mindfulness is like a brake that will stop your mind from thinking, from causing agitation in your mind. So when you have Bhutto, 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 your mind will eventually becomes still and becomes calm.
That's all, Ajahn. Thank Ajahn.
Okay. Back to Sri and check. Do you have any question?
Hello, Ajahn. One quick question, like when you were saying like monks last time live with Longta Mahabua, and then he always like want to train them, like increase their mindfulness, right? How did he do that? Like when he see if we lose mindfulness, will he pound on them, or how did he do that? Like
who are you talking about?
Longta Mahabua. Let's say if monks live with him, right? He wants to train them, like in terms of their mindfulness. So if he see monks like lose mindfulness, how did he train them? Like he scold them?
He has to see whether he can train them or not. See, some are not capable of training. If that's the case, then he just don't bother. If you see that the person is capable of training, then he'll use different technique. Depends on the person's character and depends on the situation also.
Or like different techniques. So meanings like if we want to train like our mindfulness, like it depends on our characters. Like not everybody will be using the same thing, the same method, the same tips. Like
Yes, you can use different method of you use different kammatthana to develop mindfulness with.
Okay.
Bhutto is one of it. Chanting is another one. Or you can recollecting on death. Keep thinking of death. This can also bring you back, bring your mindfulness back. Normally, if you don't think of death, then you might let your cravings think about acquiring this, acquiring that. But when you think of that, then you stop. See?
Okay.
So it depends on your mental status at that time also. If you keep thinking about woman, and then you have to contemplate on asubha.
Yeah.
If you're angry at someone, then you have to contemplate on metta. You want to be nice and kind. You don't want to hurt other beings. So you have to forgive that person that makes you angry. So you use different kammatthana to bring your mindfulness back when you lose your mindfulness. But under normal circumstances, then you can use the mantra Bhutto or chanting, or you can watch what you're doing.
Yeah. Okay. Understand.
Right.
Yeah. Thank you, Ajahn.
Okay. And check anything from you?
I always wonder about the Noble Eightfold Path. Is it a loop, Ajahn? Like when we practice it, like you always stress on mindfulness.
It's more like an automobile. See,
sorry,
the Eightfold Path is like an automobile. It has different parts. And you have steering wheel, you have the brakes, you have the pedal for the gas. And they have different models, see, from a cheap model to the more expensive model. As you advance, you change your Eightfold Path to a more intensive.
That's a good one.
You're starting with minimum practice, maybe 20%, 20% sila, 20% mindfulness, 20% samadhi, 20% wisdom. And as you advance, you increase to 30, to 40, to 50. This is like changing automobiles. See? You have more money to buy a better car, so you switch into a more expensive car. See? As you advance in your practice, you will feel stronger to be able to practice more. You can increase from 10% to 20% to 30% and so forth. And the one that driving this is the right effort. This is the one that will push you ahead. The effort to develop mindfulness, the effort to meditate, the effort to see the three characteristics of existence. This will keep driving your practice forward, then you can practice more and more. As you see more result from your practice, then you become energized, more energized to do more and more.
Okay.
So this is how the Noble Eightfold Path works. When you start, it's a very small one, like a small automobile. But as you increase, as you receive or experience the result from your practice, you will become more inspired to do more. Like right now, before you only keep the 5 precepts, right? Now you're inspired to do the 8 precepts. And now you do in 2 days. Then maybe later you want to do it 3 days, 4 days, or if not the 8 precept, maybe the 7 precepts or the 6 precept. So you just have to keep pushing yourself in the practice, Sila, Samadhi, and Panya.
Yeah.
Mm.
When you're an Arahant, you don't need the vehicle anymore, Ajahn.
Well, you have arrived, you got to where you want to go.
Um,
When you drive your car to your house, you're not going anywhere anymore. You get out of the car. The Arahant and the Buddha don't use the Noble Eightfold Path anymore once they have reached Nibbana. They don't have to practice Samadhi. They don't have to develop mindfulness. They don't have to do anything. Done is the work. No more work to do.
Okay.
Stop teaching. Then the Buddha started teaching. He taught for 45 years. He practiced for 6 years. When he practiced, he doesn't teach. He didn't teach anybody. He concentrated on his practice. But after he finished with his practice, then he doesn't worry about his practice anymore. Then he teach. He taught for 45 years and 4 times a day. In the afternoon, he taught to the lay people. In the evening, he taught to the monks. In late in the night, he taught to the devas. And early in the morning, before he goes on alms round, he uses psychic power to see who needs his teaching most that day. Then he would go to that person to teach that person first. So this is what he did for 45 years. That's why we have so many suttas in the Tripitaka. Because every talk has been memorized and then transmitted from one generation to the next, and eventually put into text. Before they had to use memory. Reciting the sutta has 2 purposes: to prolong the life of the teaching, and also to teach the person who chant, and also develop mindfulness at the same time. So that's how they use this as a way of practice. The monks during the time of the Buddha, they keep reciting his teaching so they can remember his teaching. And when reciting his teaching, is like chanting or reciting a mantra. So you also develop mindfulness. And if you understand what you chant or recite, then you also develop wisdom.
Oh, that's Buddha.
Yeah, it serves many purposes. One, to sustain the teaching of the Buddha, to keep the teaching alive, not lost. And then also it's useful for the person who recite, because this is a way of developing mindfulness and wisdom.
Ajahn, does the noble disciple have better memory or not necessarily?
Better memory? If you mean recite,
when you become enlightened, do you have have a better memory or not necessarily? Like, do you?
Some can recollect past life, if that's what you mean. Some cannot.
Oh.
You need memory to recollect past life.
Oh, okay. Oh.
Like you remember yesterday, that's past life for you. Yesterday is your past life already.
Right.
What you did yesterday, what you did last month, what you did, how long can you go back? That depends on your ability of your memory.
Is that tied to mindfulness, Ajahn? Like when you're mindful, you have a better memory, or not necessarily?
That's part of it, because when you're mindful, you know what you do, so you don't forget. If you're not mindful, sometimes you forget, did I take my medicine already or not? When you sometimes you take medicine, why thinking about some other thing? And when you finish, then you ask yourself, did I take this medicine or not?
Yeah.
And memory, for somehow it deteriorates with age also, it seems like. Older people tend to forget easily. But there are two kind of memories. One that you an arahant forget, and there's another type of memory that he doesn't forget. The memory he doesn't forget is the Four Noble Truths. The Anicca, Dukkha, Anatta. He never forget this. But he can forget the name of the person, or the time of month or day or whatever. What happened last week or something like that. He might not be able to recall. But he cannot. But he does not lose his memory on the Four Noble Truths, or the three characteristics of existence, Anicca, Dukkha, Anatta. Because this is life in his mind all the time.
You mean, Ajahn, like it's life? You mean
it happens in your mind? See, dukkha arises in your mind, craving arises in your mind, magga arises in your mind, and so one memory you sort of bring it from outside to your mind, and then once you stop bringing it in, it disappears. You have to recall to remember. If you don't recall, you don't remember, right?
Yeah.
See, right now, what did you do yesterday? You have to think first. What did I do? What did I eat for breakfast yesterday? Then you have to recall.
Yeah.
But with the Four Noble Truths, it's always there, ever present in your mind. Every movement, you have dukkha all the time. With the arahant, they have the nirodha all the time, no dukkha.
No dukkha.
Because they don't generate any cravings.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
All right.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you, Ajahn.
Anybody else have any? Dean, raise his hand. Oh, Joseph. Okay. Unmute your microphone.
Hi, Ajahn. A quick question.
Okay, let's go to Dean first. Okay, welcome back to
quick
Joe.
one. Buddha taught about investigating the body. I want to clarify and ask, there is the physical body and there is the feeling body, the phantom body. When Buddha instruct for us to investigate and keep mindfulness on the body, is he referring to both?
No, just the physical body, your physical body. Look at the detailed instructions. It tells you to be mindful of your body movement, your posture. It tells you to be mindful of the 32 parts of the body.
Yes.
Be mindful of the 10 corpses, which is the body. Be mindful that the body is made up of the 4 elements. So this is the physical body he's talking about. No.
Ajahn, how about the feeling part, the point where
the feeling has two sources, mental and physical sources. You have feeling coming from the body. When you're hungry, you have bad feeling. When you're full, you have good feeling. When you're neither full or hungry, you have neutral feeling. This is the body feeling. The mental feeling arises from your defilements, your dukkha. when you have cravings, when you're not mindful, and your mind start to have your defilements start to drive your mind with greed or hate, then you have this bad feeling arising.
Ajahn, can I check with you? I investigate the feelings arising this week, different kinds: sadness, anger, frustration, irritation. As the feeling arise, I observe it, and I try to apply the mere seeing, mere knowing, and not, in a way, not react, and it fades away. Is this the right way to attend to the arising feelings?
As long as you can stay calm, then it's the right way. The purpose is to maintain calm in your mind, in face of everything. Good feeling, bad feeling, neutral feeling.
Because the words of mere knowing, mere seeing, mere it becomes like mere feelings, mere thoughts, everything that arise inside. And it gave me a clue, like I stopped feeding the defilements. So, and it's very subtle, so I just want to check. So
Yeah,
yes,
as
thank
long
you.
as you just
Yes.
remain calm and not reacting, that's merely knowing.
Thank you.
I think we have a new participant, Carlos Molina.
It's ST.
Okay, we'll go to the newer participant. I cannot see. I think admin, you have to
It's
do the
ST.
work.
ST. Okay.
Hi, Ajahn. Yeah, actually, I'm not new. I'm here. Just glad to be here. No question at the moment. Just listening. So glad to be here. Thanks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good to see you.
Good to see you. Yes.
You're from Singapore.
That's correct.
All right. All right. Who else? Who else just came in? I see a couple of person.
Yes, but they are face off. They are not showing the video now.
They don't turn on the video. Huh?
Yeah,
Okay.
they don't turn on the video.
So they don't want to say anything. Anybody has any question? Oh, we go back to Joseph. I think Joseph
Okay,
wanted to.
Joseph.
Okay, Joseph.
Yeah, Ajahn, the other day I asked you a question with regards to the heart, because I read Ajahn Mahabua's series of talks that were translated called To the Last Breath, when he gave to a lady, a Thai lady, who was living as his disciple in the monastery during her last days, right? In the translation in English, he uses the word mind a lot. You have explained to me, but I still did not really catch your explanation. You mentioned that in Thailand, you used or the monks use the word heart instead of the mind, is it?
Yes, they're the same. Actually, when we talk about the emotion, we usually talk about the heart. When we're talking about the thoughts, then we talk about the mind, but it's the same thing. The mind has two functions. It can think and it can also feel the emotion. So it's referring to the same thing.
So
only the different aspect of that same thing. It's like we're talking to referring to our body. The body has many aspects. We talk about the face, we talk about the feet, we talk about, but it's still the body we're talking about. So whether we talk about the heart or the mind, we are talking about the knowing element, the knowing element that has the four khandha and also has the emotion and feelings that are arising.
Right.
So it's the same thing.
So it's the
We're
same.
talking about the same person, but different aspect of that person. We talk about the emotion. We usually use the heart If we talk about the intellect, we talk about the mind.
Right. Okay. Clear. Thank you, Ajahn. Thank you very much.
Sometimes we use them both together, mind and heart. Jit Jai. Jit is mind, heart, Jai is heart in Thai. Sometimes we call Jit Jai. Together, sometimes we call Jit, sometimes we call Jai.
Right.
But it refers to the same thing. Okay?
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, Ajahn.
You're welcome. Anybody else?
Okay, I see Alejandro.
Okay.
Alejandro, you want to talk? He just, I don't know. Oops. Let him out. Okay.
You just want to play.
Okay. Alvin.
Okay. No problem.
Tan Ajahn, I just want to ask a question on when you sit down to meditate, then when you don't have mindfulness, your mind will think of something else. I listened to this talk that says that, if you lose a bit of, if your mind wanders a bit, that's fine. Don't worry about it. It's still considered as a wholesome thought because you are actually aware that your mind wanders. You have any comment for that?
Well, when you first started, your mind has to wander. This is because your mindfulness is not strong or sustained to keep the thought from wandering around. So, but don't be bothered by that and lose your concentration. Continue on with your concentration on your focus on your meditation object. Don't get angry or don't get disappointed or anything. Don't be discouraged. Let's put it that way. Just keep focusing, even though your mind doesn't want to be focused with you. Just accept that this is normal when you first started. Like young children, when I think you have some background noise.
Yeah, my children. Sorry. I just made it.
Okay, doesn't matter. So like young children learning how to stand up, they cannot stand up right away. They might stand up and walk for a few steps and then fall back down again. So this is like mindfulness. When you first develop mindfulness, it's not strong and it's not sustained, so it cannot prevent the thought from arising. So don't be discouraged or don't feel sad or bad about it. Just keep developing mindfulness and keep focusing on your meditation object. And as your mindfulness becomes stronger and stronger, then your thought will be less and less. Okay.
Okay, so Tan Ajahn, you are not creating. Actually, you are not creating any karma, right? With that.
You're stopping karma. You're stopping your thoughts.
Okay.
By mindfulness. Your thought is the one that creates karma, see, and you want to stop it. But if it's a mental karma, then it's still okay. It has no consequences. But as it becomes verbal or become physical, that's when the karma will have consequences. So if you can control your thought, then you can control your verbal and your physical karma. You can stop it.
Okay, thanks. Sadhu.
Okay. Kun Vichon, you see anybody else?
Fong Xin Yi.
Hello, Tan Ajahn.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, Tan Ajahn, I would like to ask this question regarding these noble disciples, where they actually practice following this Supatipanno, Ujupatipanno, Nyaya Patipanno, and Samichi Patipanno.
Yes.
So, how is it? Which part of it is very applicable to lay people, and how can we follow so that, we can move and progress?
You need to follow the four, all of them. Supatipanno means practice, good practice. Like being a good student, you have to study hard. You have to practice hard. This is called supatipanno. So you can get good grades, get first grade. First, you stay on the top. This is what meant by sutipanno. Supatipanno is to practice to your maximum effort. Uchupatipanno, you practice that exactly what the Buddha teaches you to do. Follow the Buddha's teaching. Don't stray away from his teaching. Yaya patipanno, you practice for the cessation of suffering, not for any other purpose. No, not for money, not for fame, not for anything. You practice for the cessation of the suffering. Samiji patipanno, you practice correctly. I think this is the Samiji. So you have to do all these four together.
So regarding the last one, correctly means in how do we know whether it's correct or not?
Like Samma Titti, Samma Samadhi, not Micchas, Titti, Micchas, Samadhi. Samma Samadhi, you have to have the fourth jhana, have Appana Samadhi. You don't want to go to Upajjara Samadhi. This is Miccha Samadhi because it doesn't support your mind, your wisdom development. So you don't practice the Upajjara Samadhi. You practice the Appana Samadhi. So you have to study with the teachers, with someone who has the experience. Then he can correct you when he sees you not doing correctly. Like this Mechi girl, she had this psychic power. She can go into the Upajjara Samadhi. And she enjoyed it because she can communicate with the spiritual beings. But Ajahn Mahabodhi said, you are distracted, you're wasting your time. Samadhi has no equanimity to support your wisdom, to get rid of your defilement. So she eventually stopped going to Upajjara Samadhi and then concentrate on Appana Samadhi. Full concentration, long concentration. Then she has equanimity, then she can go and develop the Anicca Dukkha Anatta to get rid of her defilement and her suffering. So this is correct practice. So you need four of them. They go together really. Like when you go to school, you have to study hard. This is Supatipanno. You have to follow the teaching. You don't go read comic books and then expect to pass the examination. You have to read the subject that you study. And then you have to do the homework to make sure that you do it right, that you're doing it correctly. And the purpose of studying is to get a degree or be graduated. So it's basically like the way you do in the world, but it's different in Dhamma. The goal is different. The goal in Dhamma is a cessation of suffering, complete cessation of suffering. So you need to have these four. You have to study and practice hard to your maximum effort. This is what we call Supatipanno, 100% commitment. And you have to follow the teaching directly. And the goal is to get rid of the suffering in your mind. And in order you have to practice correctly. Okay.
Okay, so that means for this 100% commitment, I think it's more applicable only for those who are ordained, right?
That's right. That's why most people who became enlightened are monks, not lay people. Lay people are exception to the rules. Those who become enlightened, they might practice like monks, but they're still not able to become a monk. That's also possible.
Okay.
So it's not whether you're a monk or lay people, it's whether you have these 4 practices or not that make you become successful in your practice. Some monks don't become enlightened. Many monks don't become enlightened because they don't have these 4 practices. Some lay people can become enlightened and because they have these 4 practices. You can become enlightened if you can do these 4 practices. Okay?
Okay. Thank you, Tan Ajahn.
I think Yannasangwararam raised his hand. Yannasangwararam?
Regarding just following up on what you were saying right now, is it true that if a layperson
You have to speak louder, cannot hear you.
Can you hear me better now?
You put the microphone near.
I
Okay.
don't have a microphone. It's
Okay.
on my headset. That's why.
Headset.
So I'm just increasing the.
Okay, can hear you, but hardly, very soft. Okay, go ahead, say what you want to say.
So I was asking, is it true that if a layperson becomes enlightened, becomes arahant, they will die within 24 hours?
No, that's a misunderstanding due to the fact that there were a couple examples of layperson who became enlightened and died suddenly. But that's not the case. The body and the mind is not, the enlightenment of the mind doesn't cause people to die if they don't become a monk. Because in truth, they already become a monk mentally. The mind has become a monk already. So being a monk physically doesn't make you enlightened.
Yes.
So it just so happened that in the example, lay people who become enlightened happen to die suddenly. One being.
But it is mentioned that somewhere, I think, I cannot recall the sutta, it is mentioned somehow that without the support given by the precepts of the monk, what do you call them?
When you're enlightened, you already have precept. You already have precept. You need to have precept before you can become enlightened, not the precept of the monk.
No, I mean not the 10 precept or like that. I mean those 220 something precepts. What do you call that?
You don't need that. You don't need that. You have that and you don't become enlightened. Look at all the monks that has these precepts and they're not enlightened.
Oh, okay.
And they die the same, just like anybody else. That's if this thing protect them, then no monk should die, right? They all died.
Yeah.
It's just people misunderstanding, and they just misinterpret the example that happened. Like the Buddha's father died 7 days after he became enlightened. See, because he was sick already, he's about to die already, and the Buddha went there to help him. See, to teach him to become enlightened. So people think, oh, he's enlightened and he's not a monk, so he has to die. It's just a matter of interpretation. I haven't seen any text that talk about that directly. Show me a text. Let's say if you are a lay person and you become an arahant, you will have to die. If you don't become a monk, if you don't ordain as a monk. I don't see that in any text.
There's the Bahiya Sutta I just read recently. I always reference that.
So it's his karma to
Hello?
die. He just happened to run into a bull and been run over by the bull.
Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you, waiting for you.
I cannot hear anything.
Okay. Maybe something wrong with your audio.
I cannot hear you, Bante.
Okay. Yeah, let's go to someone else then. Okay. Anybody else?
I have question.
Okay. Go ahead.
That's two questions from Facebook, Ajahn. First one from Miss Jean. If keeping egg precept, what drinks are allowed in the afternoon?
Oh, I don't know. Any drink that is not considered to be food, I guess. You know, like milk, you cannot drink milk. You cannot. What you can drink is like refreshment, coffee, tea, fruit juices, for instance. Okay.
And is it also certain seeds or nuts are allowed in the afternoon?
If they consider to be medicine, if they are not medicine, then you cannot take them in the afternoon.
And last question from Mr. Chi Ching Chuan. Must I have firm anapanasati before proceed to vipassana? Why is this important? Can I just go for vipassana?
If you don't have samadhi, you have no equanimity. Your mind is still reactive. So when your defilement wants you to do something, you cannot stop it from yourself from doing what your defilement wants you to do. Even though if you have wisdom to see that by doing so, you'll run into dukkha. But if you have equanimity and you have wisdom to see that when your defilement wants you to do something, if you do it, you're going to run into dukkha. Then you can stop your mind from doing it if you have equanimity. Okay?
That's
Is
all,
that all?
Ajahn. Yes, Ajahn.
Okay. Any more questions from anybody? If not, we'll call the meeting to an end pretty soon. It's almost 2 hours.
That's
Okay.
all. That's all.
Um,
Ankit.
Okay.
Ankit.
Raise your hand and move your
Okay.
microphone and speak.
Hello.
Let's turn on your video first. Don't you have a video?
Hello. Greetings of the day, Ajahn.
Okay.
Hello. Uh, Start my video. Okay. Last time I asked you a question. So this time also I have few questions regarding meditation only, regarding my like sadhana. So I actually emailed also that question, but it was too long, so that I think I didn't got the answer a few days back only. So my question is actually, I'm not achieving a full stillness. Like if I go for sittings, I sit for like in one sitting in Adhishtan for 3 hours. In the morning sitting, I sit for 3 hours continuously, and then in the rest of the days, 1.5 hour sitting. So whenever the sitting is for 1 hour, I can sit properly for the meditation. But if it is exceeding my sitting is exceeding, so I cannot achieve that stillness. Like in my mind, it always comes like like my like spine is not very straight, so I should straight it up. Then I straight my back, or sometimes in my mind it comes that my body is little tilted on the right side or the left side, so I correct it back to my position. Or sometimes it comes like my one of my shoulder is too high, so I like lower my shoulder in the sitting only. I don't open my eyes or my hands or my like change my sitting position. I don't change it, but this is my barrier. Like it is acting as a barrier. Or sometimes it happens like my throat is getting dry. I should like swallow the salivation that is happening. So what should I do so that I can overcome these hindrances in my practice?
You just have to concentrate on your meditation object. Disregard the body.
Hello.
You have to concentrate on the meditation object and disregard your body. Don't do anything to your body. Leave it alone.
Okay. So as from yesterday only, I started practicing like from simple sitting position like Sukhasan to Padmasan, because I read in the book that body will get locked in Padmasan, like full lotus position. So I started practicing, but once I started this lotus position practice, so then it is happening that I cannot sit more than 1 hour. My ankles is getting very painful. I can sit for 1 hour, 1 hour 10 minutes. So should I continue lotus position, or should I sit in comfortable position in which I can sit for 3 hours continuously?
Well, it's up to you.
Okay.
It's up to you. Whatever you want.
Okay.
The goal of meditation is to calm your mind. So
yes, sir.
It doesn't mean the length of your sitting. You can sit for many hours and not calm, and then it's just considered to be useless.
Okay.
What you should be more concerned with is your calm, your mindfulness. You need to have strong mindfulness to calm your mind.
So I think that it is the break. If I move my body parts a little bit, even the upper body part, while continuing on my breath or meditation object, like breath is our meditation object, still continuing on the breath, if I move my body part just to straighten my back or like spine, so is it valid, or I should be try to more still in that position only, even if it comes in my mind that my spine is not straight little bit?
Don't worry about your body. Just watch your breath only.
Okay.
Don't do anything to the body.
Okay.
Don't move it, don't stretch it, don't do anything. Because you're starting your meditation, you're going back to zero again. Okay.
Back to the zero position. Thank you. Okay. Hello.
Okay.
One last question. There is one more hindrance in my practice. That is inner voice verbalization. Like sometimes if some defilement or thought comes, so my mind itself says like inner voice says, let it go. So what should I do for that also? I need solution for that also.
Letting go is the goal, to let go of everything.
Okay. Thank you, Ajahn.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Okay. You're from India?
Yeah, I'm from India. And actually, I follow your practice schedule also, like whatever the question answers you give, and I try to imitate in my practice. That's why. So yeah.
See how it works. Okay, next time let me know.
Yes.
Leave your body alone.
Okay.
Don't worry about the body. Just keep concentrating on your meditation object.
Okay.
Breath.
Okay. Thank you, Ajahn. I will try and I will let you know in the next session.
Okay, good. See you next time.
Yeah. Thank you, Ajahn.
So anybody else? Any question? Anybody? Looks like everybody has Mahesh. Where you from, Mahesh?
Turn on the video first. I think.
Hello.
Okay.
Hello, how are you, Mahesh?
I'm fine, thank you, Ajahn.
Where are you from?
I'm from India.
Yes, go ahead.
Actually, I do have some questions regarding meditation and its reflection in day-to-day life. Because I am a layman and I work and I also meditate. So, question about meditation is that most of the time, I find a lot of hindrances and barriers during my meditation. I try to focus on my breath, but soon after it goes away and it wanders away. So but I brings back to my respiration. But after some time the distraction the wandering is too long, so I can't remain on the object of meditation for too long. This is first. And second question about the same meditation practice is that I find sometime less motivation to do so in day-to-day life. Whenever so much storming happens in my life, sometimes if I'm interacting with people in my day-to-day life, so if something happens against my will, so my emotional intelligence do not work the way I want to work it. So though I have been reducing and improving my social and emotional intelligence, but for some days, the moment COVID-19 happened, okay, and I stuck and confined to my room and my house. So it is more happening. Defilements is coming to the surfaces, and it's it's impacting me. This is first question. Okay, and the second question is about day-to-day life, because sometime my friends and my relative, they say I meditate, and they just make fun of me, and sometime I just tolerate, but most of the time I can't tolerate, and I give negative reaction. So how do I deal with this kind of thing in my day-to-day life also? These are my two questions, please.
Well, the second question is, you just have to accept your position. You cannot force people to do what you want them to do all the time. So sometimes they make fun of you, sometimes they say bad thing about you or anything. You just have to look at them like you look at the weather. There's nothing you can do. You cannot stop them. So you just have to accept them. Okay?
Okay.
And the first question was so long, I could not get what the question is. Can you make it short?
Yes. I just repeat. First question is about hindrances during my meditation practice. Okay. So my question was about how to remain motivated, because yes, this is mainly if you ask me in a one sentence, this is the main question. How can I remain motivated to meditate daily?
Well, one method is to study the teaching of the Buddha. Keep studying his teaching and his life, use him
All
as
right.
an example.
All right.
And then the second one is to get the result from your practice. Because when you practice and you get result, then you'll become more motivated to do more practice.
Okay.
So you have to do both. You have to study and you have to practice. Don't give up. Don't be discouraged. Okay?
Okay. Thank you, Ajahn. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Yep. Thanks a lot.
Anybody else? I guess it's about time for me to close this meeting. It's exactly 2 hours and about 7 minutes already. So I think I have to thank you, all of you, for participating. I hope you benefit from this meeting, and I hope you will then apply it in your practice and move forward in your practice to enlightenment. So thank you very much, and goodbye for now.